In June 2012, a major international conference in UN Geneva for new emphasis on the rights of women.
For centuries, men have been politically dominant, but with the internet and a new electronic revolution, the world has changed. Physical strength has been overcome by internet potential. Not worked out lately, have you?
In Iceland, with the banking disaster, the women removed all the experienced old men in the government. Women took over complete control.
The only male government post left was the old president who has been serving 6 terms. But now in the current election, a major female politician, nursing her baby, is running for president of Iceland.
Women say they're seeking equality. Are women superior to men? Perhaps women may begin to take over the world with more tolerant and peaceful political values.
Discussions are continuing.
Well, Constance, this is a special day. You're retired, all work over. Ah, wheelchair stands ready. Tell me, dear, you worried about the future?
Future, George? A woman only worries about the future until she gets a husband.
Well, a man never worries about the future until he gets a wife. Oh, when he sees a woman of his dreams, love overwhelms him so much as he wants to make love so badly.
Well, you succeeded, George. You make love really badly.
Thank you, dear. You made my day. But, you know, you never tell me when you're going to reach that special moment.
No, dear. I would, but you're never there.
Oh, that's unkind. You're like Heidi. When her Iraqi husband Sunta asks her, dear, what did you do with the grocery money I gave you? She says, look in the mirror, turn around.
So, what shall I do now that I'm retired? Nothing.
Well, my suggestion is you could look after me 24 hours a day.
Not ready for hell yet, George refused. I'm now really open to new suggestions.
Well, you've had 20 years working in the UN in the field of politics and health. Why don't you do some medicine and politics?
Impossible. I haven't treated patients for years.
Except the family.
But politics? Well, I must confess, you men have made such a terrible mess of it. Perhaps it's time for women to take over.
Well, do some medicine and politics with Heidi. Go and change the world.
No, not qualified anymore. Medicine's changed since I started seeing patients 20 years ago. Right now it's scary to be sick, because if you don't die of the sickness, you die when you see the medical bill.
Oh, that's true. But you're so intelligent, and with your background in internal medicine, you could be working as a general practitioner within a month.
Is Heidi very keen to do the impossible?
She's so dynamic, she might even be organising things now. Shortage of GPs in this country. Remember, you were asked before, but you declined.
No.
Not even with Heidi?
Well, perhaps.
Great. Well, do some medicine with Heidi and then go into local politics here in Bromley. It's time you women took over from the old men.
I must agree with that. In politics, old men mess things up and then blame someone else. They don't really value tolerance, peaceful solution to problems. They like to win wars. What makes us believe that old men really know what to do about politics in the new future of 2012?
Oh, experience, dear. We've got experience. Do you think we should just play at home and do computer games, that kind of thing? Go down the politics shed, go to the pub, have a few beers, go to the golf club. We've got experience. Now, what makes you think that you women can do any better?
Of course. Look at Mrs. Thatcher, who did wonders in the UK. Was she really a man in disguise?
Oh, yeah, no need for that, dear. But look, don't forget that video of her when she turned round and said, now, gentlemen, time to go and rejoin the ladies, remember?
So, women taking charge. How have you men managed to dominate women worldwide for so many centuries?
Oh, well, we spread about the rumour, you see, that women are weak and obedient. And all you women are so good at pretending.
Well, in the last 20 years, things have changed. It's not muscle, but brains that count now. We women almost got equality. Perhaps now we should plan for superiority and success.
Well, a woman does live longer than a man, so I suspect as a man gets older, he should expect to be dominated by a woman. WSM, women superior to men.
All right, you've convinced me, George. Sex equality is an illusion of the past, but someone has to be in charge. In 2012, over 200 countries had powerful athletic women in the Olympics.
Well, agreed. But, remember, did you see that special news report from Australia? That was a funny one. All the men were booked in first class and the women had to travel tourist class.
A laugh, just a peanut mistake.
Anyway, now going into politics with Heidi and change all that. You won't let that happen again, will you?
You're still a crafty old bugger, George.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to admit it, women usually keep it a secret, but now I confess, women are superior to men.
Well, dear Constance, how do you justify it?
Over past centuries, almost every civilization of the world accepted male superiority as a way of life. Why? Because some almighty decided he was male.
I must say I find that quite reasonable.
Well, now man's time's up. The superiority of women is coming up as the hot topic for the present generation.
But how do you prove your WSM?
Research. My field.
Oh.
Breaking news. At Harvard University, current research is beginning to show that women are superior to men in so many ways.
Scientifically proven, not yet, but
Women are better communicators.
their brains are more networked for processing and conveying of messages.
Women are better at mind reading.
Women are more empathetic.
Women have a more cautious approach to life and career.
Women hate war and avoid reckless decisions, and until they have the necessary skills.
Overall, women are the world's most successful multitaskers.
Female supremacy is the buzzword these days, all around Harvard and the world.
Well, if Harvard says it, it must be true. But you should hear what my friend Nicholson says in his report about women in management.
Breaking news. Dr. Nicholson reports after 10 years as a finance manager in the UN being mostly managed by female executives, he came to the following conclusion.
Women are bad managers. They allow no discussion and want men to shut up and get on with it.
They're ambitious to get more and more out of life.
In key issues, nothing is negotiable. The meeting is over.
They've worked hard to get where they are.
Humour in management is unacceptable. They are serious all the time.
They know they're great managers. They don't need any help from any men.
They want us just to shut up and get on with it, please.
Finally, there are 6 ways that highly confidential information gets out to the world news: email, telephone, Facebook, Twitter, and to tell a woman.
Want a hopelessly prejudiced male viewpoint. Is he still working for the UN?
No, women fired him last year.
Right.
Yeah, right. Well, women do give birth to children. I suppose that does give them some advantage over men. But men do say, never trust a woman. She has hidden motivations. Now, is that truth or is that an illusion?
Bit of an illusion, dear. We're not all equal. Even with loving partners, one must be superior. Men want a caring woman, but even then they can't resist trying, unsuccessfully, to dominate her with high expectations of obedience. Yet, in some countries perhaps, women are waiting patiently to take charge. What a political challenge.
Well, yes, I suppose giving birth does make women superior to men. WSM, women superior to men.
Seems to me you are ready for medical practice and politics. I'm terrified, but Heidi tells me every woman is sitting on a gold mine.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know how Heidi manages to interpret that politely. Oh, yeah. Hello.
That's smooth.
Come and have a drink. Did they hear my name?
Oh, wait.
And an argument? Women sit on a gold mine? Of course!
We're in discussion about my future in retirement.
Great. Would you like to work with me in our village?
How very kind of you, Heidi, but I'm not sure I'd be quite up to it yet.
Now we're discussing WSM, women superior to men situation.
WSM? Oh, I do not like the sound of this.
Well, that's okay for Heidi. She's European, but admittedly it's a bit hard on you.
No. It is man's job to protect the woman. They are built way weaker than us, so they should obey our gentle instruction for their own protection.
Dear son, married to me for 20 years and still full of gentle illusions. I support WSM. In Denmark, women went on strike to be free and prove it.
Did it work?
I think so. If you marry a well-behaved Dane, he will wash the dishes. But if you marry somebody like Sunta, he's got his own ideas.
That's right, Heidi, my dear wife. Men should be respected and obeyed.
But not nowadays, Sunta, that was the past.
These are culture, Heidi, dependent on our traditional charms. Men must protect the woman.
Of course, very well for the old tough days of tribal survival. Less need for girls to read and write than for a good marriage in a tribe. Perhaps mothers know best.
Well, I think perhaps the best a girl in the tribe could hope for was marriage to a husband that wasn't too old, but really, so it's a marriage at 14, that's a bit hard to take.
These are our cultural norms, George, that have helped tribes to survive for centuries, although they do change a little over time.
Well, you men just don't understand women. Heidi tells me every girl is sitting on a gold mine.
Oh, gold mine again, no. I still believe man should be in control, feeling responsible for the women. We are the ones sitting on a gold mine.
Yes, indeed, but a woman must use what Mother Nature gave her before Father Time will take it all away. You men don't really understand women.
True. Even in medicine, a male gynecologist is like an auto mechanic who's never owned a car.
Well, I do not accept your WSM. Man should be responsible.
Agreed, and Santa, I think man was made before women, so he'd have a chance to think up an answer to women's next question.
Need for change, please.
Women endured years of male domination, so I am in favour of its constance of change. Perhaps we can do politics and medical practice together, Constance.
Great idea!
Oh, I don't feel too confident, but why not?
Yeah.
With women, key priority, childcare and peace, no fighting.
In my country, security and survival are the main problems, and custom helps us find the answers to survive in a dangerous environment.
Yes, but not here in England.
Yes, but gentle obedience are still my key family priorities. Why? Because women should be protected from fear and abuse. And so women cannot suggest our gentle guidance.
Disagree. But no change in you, my dear Sunta. No hope of changing you at all. Except, thanks goodness, for English culture. And so I enjoy the challenge. Have you seen great Ukrainian females protest on CNN? Great politics, women's rights. Let me tell you about Ukrainian females movement. We came, we stripped, and we conquered. Get the pictures.
News just in. Our senior foreign affairs correspondent Selma is reporting live about the key protest that's happening in Kiev, Ukraine. Selma, can you please tell us more about this pressing issue?
Well, feminists open up a bold new front. Sisters of the revolution, time to blow your tops. Women's right to Ukraine. Zero evidence that a bunch of feminists managed to do something unthinkable that made the movement spectacular.
That's fantastic news, Selma. Do you by chance happen to be naked with the protesters as well?
Yes! Yes! Can you see it?
And now to the weather.
How did they organise the protest?
Oh, they used Facebook, internet, Twitter, CNN, videos, and protested with the slogans printed on their half-naked bodies in Ukraine, Rome, Istanbul, Moscow, you name it. Women are planning to conquer the world.
It is fun, but I don't plan to strip down, although I do support women's rights and WSM. Do we really need men anyhow? We can save their sperm for life. The paper today reported on a sperm life support laboratory where the director is reported to have personally fathered 600 babies.
Great! What a man!
You modern women have no respect or deference on our traditional culture and values. We do it to protect you from the world.
Yeah, and you know, Sunta, I think women prefer silent men, or they think that we're listening. The inferior man is as good as he has to be, where the superior woman, she's as bad as she dares to be.
No. All this talk of WSM and politics is too much for me. I'm getting a headache.
Yeah.
George, come, let's go to the garden, get some fresh air.
Now, Constance, we can start planning our medical practice and politics starting now.
All this talk of WSM, women superior to men, is very disturbing.
Well, Sunta, you must admit there are differences between men and women.
Yes, but it frightens me, George. We're Constance and Heidi talk about medical practice and politics. I'm against it.
Well, you must admit that medicine does provide a good extra cash flow.
I agree with you there. Cash is a great joy, but woman in politics, George? A woman will always want the last word in an argument. Anything a man adds after that is just the start of another argument.
Well, got to be tolerant, Sunta. You know, us men, we're always trying to impress the women that we fancy. Perhaps these days, can't do it anymore. Look, we're just too fast. Look at us. They're far too powerful for us.
No, that cannot be right. Men must be powerful to guide the family. We know best. They say we're being dominant, but we're just being protective.
Well, yeah, but I'm in for a bit of change. Change makes for an interesting life. Look, why don't we just do away with marriage entirely? Let's find a woman you hate and buy her a house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, it's just a statement from a woman, meaning she's not listening to you and she thinks you're stupid.
But our women are playing in change, George, and it's just not natural for a man to obey a woman.
Well, agreed, but this is 2012. The world has changed, Sunta.
But they must accept reality. There will always be wars and violence. It is part of man's nature. And this talk of multicultural harmony, I'm afraid, is just an illusion.
So you think that wars for just causes are inevitable?
Maybe.
Well, alas, no. With WikiLeaks, there are no secrets in the world anymore, and it's all disclosed that the world's been run by corrupt old men. I'm beginning to think that the women could do better.
So we must try not to avoid change for the sake of the family.
Well, yeah, I think so. Give them a chance in the community. They may make some wonderful changes.
Okay, agreed. So let's go back and see how our wonderful wives are deciding to change the world, eh? Starting with Molly.
Time we painted the shed, isn't it? Right?
Now, to plan medical practice and politics, we must show that women can do wonders in local politics.
Sure, the world has changed. In 2012, more women work than men. The stress of work is bad for sex, so I was pleased to retire, but with medical practice and politics, I'll have even more work.
Oh, don't worry. If a woman steals your husband for sex, there is no better revenge than to let her keep him. Oh, just like Ukraine. The women's movement for Bromley. We came, we stripped, and we conquered.
No more sex, please, the plan. Back to politics.
Well, here in Bromley, the Women's Social Club of 400 members for start. We stand for tolerance and freedom for all with no racial tensions. Males should be voluntary, except for old men.
Get the old men in politics to retire and rest. Let the women take a turn to manage. We don't need to obey men anymore, agreed? Let's do it.
Why not manage with our own, more creative version of women's? How about a strike? We can make an influence on local government, people, politics, and so we can create new job placements, new opportunities, and new life for so many women, and introduce new priority into local government. We need a strategy. Local elections are next month. Great opportunity. We need to make it fun.
Ooh, but first, we need some cash.
I have contacts with some very rich Asian widows. They may want to help us and to support us. They may want to break at last from male domination, which has been around since 620 AD. We can be new beginning for them.
Then we need a woman as mayor. You, Heidi.
Oh no.
Just for 1 year?
No.
How do we get the men to pull back just for 1 year?
Yes. We can hand it back after a year, having learned about the problems, and then take it to a new national level with mainly women in government. Impossible. Let's do it.
Agreed.
Agreed.
So, as you suggested, George, we're going into medical practice, bring in a little cash and do local politics on the side with your Hunter, with your Heidi. Agreed, Sunta?
Well, if it's what you really want to do.
Agreed! It all sounds wonderful!
Agreed. We'll make it wonderful for you. We must help you. Any comments?
Well, at least have respect for family values. With the man in charge, and we still have to have respect in our community.
Agreed. We must gently help and support you to be free. We will do the job, and you deserve to relax.
Well, local government must find out and do something.
Perhaps we need to start by Heidi becoming mayor of the town. Elections next month. Perhaps the mayor should resign and give his job to a woman.
Oh, but I'm amazed at your enthusiasm. Great.
Well, with Heidi in charge, maybe she can reinforce traditional values.
Oh, yes. You know, I have an idea that the term weaker sex was coined by a woman to describe a man she was about to seduce.
Men are far more expressive in rolling a cigarette than in saving the world, like femins.
Indeed. 1. Feminists open up a bold new front. 2. Sisters of the Revolution, time to blow your tops. 3. Let's make women's movement spectacular. So let's do what is close to our heart. And let's make it fun. So, dear men, collaboration, no conflict, please. So, here we go. If you need hand, a helping hand, as you grow older, you will discover that you have
Go on, get on then.
Breaking news. Iceland has done it. Women in control. Germany has done it. What next?
Like Iceland, we want to be an inspiration to women in other towns to become politically active and take control. What a wonderful hope for the future.
I must disappoint you now, because our men may not agree with WSM and thus may resist the change. Alas, men are so much happier with the known present than the uncertain future.
Why? Ladies, please. Please don't change. Men don't want you to change. We like the present. We're in control. We play better golf than you, better computer football games for hours on end. We can wear shorts no matter what our legs look like. We would only have to shave our face and not our legs, and nowadays, we don't even have to bother to do that more than once a week. Yes, and we can keep the same hairstyle for years, even decades, if we have any hair left. We dislike change and pretend we're not getting any older. We don't have to stop and think which way to turn the screw. With a little medical gin and tonic, we can have a good mood for all the time. And so on and so on. So for us, for men, no change please. Let's keep the present. So ladies, dear, dear ladies, please, don't change.
They like to enjoy things the way they are. Perhaps our bromley actions will inspire women in other small towns in England. I wonder how women in other communities will react. Oh, what a great female potential, with women in control for just 1 year.
I agree, control for just 1 year to show what we can do. Give the men rest and relaxation for a year, then give back their responsibilities after we've shown them how to do it better.
But first we must get control, and then we will organize a 1-hour women's fun strike, like Germany, Iceland and Denmark. This will make an impact on people, business and local government, just like females.
Alas, at our age, we're not quite as pretty as the feminist women, but hopefully we can find some young, very attractive members to fill the gap.
No shortage of that. I will contact local newspapers.
And I'll set up a meeting with the mayor, voting next month, so we can become politically very powerful.
Oh, what a great political game! It must be fun. So on we go. Monica, Suzanne, next meeting tomorrow, same time.
Oh, you know, sometimes I wonder what's going on with the women. Oh, I do miss Marianne, the old au pair girl we had from Vienna. You know, the one with a nice pair of earrings. Yeah. Felt a bit sad the other week. Anyway, I heard there were a few strippers on at the old Cow and Trumpet. Yeah. So I went out there for a drink. Right old session. Mrs. went out looking for me. I was so gone. I asked for a telephone number. Then you showed me. Didn't go down. Well, I can assure you.
Oh dear George, George, what are these women up to of ours? What do they really want, these lovely, crafty females? They're not letting the cat out the bag.
Oh, I don't know what they're up to. You know, I've an idea. This concept of WSM, it goes quite deep, but I can't puzzle it out. They're far too clever for me to work out, manipulating us with their gold mines.
Yes, how do they do that?
Well, I don't know, but they're putting one over us for years. With their deep, hidden emotions and controlling ways, they keep them secret and hidden. I can't work it out.
Yes, well, you know what they say, George. You only get to know the girl you marry after what? 30 years? And so be prepared.
Oh, that's true. Hey, Sunta, that reminds me. Last week, there's a woman, she put an ad on the internet, said husband wanted. She got 100 replies. All the women were writing, you can have mine. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, George, you know, the good thing about being married is being the father of the house, I can say anything I want to.
Yeah, of course you can. Nobody listens to you or pays any attention.
True. So even with all my deep learning, women are still a mystery to me.
Oh, mystery indeed. You know, I wonder what they would do if they got into power in politics. Maybe they'd resent sending their sons off to be killed in wars for the political illusions of old men.
But would they really dare to begin to do men's jobs?
Oh, yes, in Europe it's already going too far. They expect us to help with the housework.
Can't you refuse?
Well, dare not refuse, but I've got a wonderful secret.
Wonderful secret? Please tell.
Well, yeah. Incompetence.
Incompetence.
Incompetence for precise female jobs to be done. Yeah.
You've lost me, George.
Well, every time Constance asks me to do something, I make such a hash of it. She loses patience with me. Doesn't want me to do it. She says, I'll do it myself. It's quicker. Make a right old mess. She has to clear it up. I go down the old cow and trumpet again. Leave it for her. I don't want to do any work. It's great. You're doing it well.
Great idea, George. I'll start tomorrow.
And precise, yeah, you do it. You'll like it. And these precise female skills in politics might achieve some things that us men haven't done for centuries.
Like what? Men are much more powerful and can achieve anything in time.
God, mystery indeed. Do you know, they've been in there now for 3 hours. I don't know what they're up to. You know, it frightens me.
Well, let's hope it is to help us and not to cause trouble. A woman's place is in a home, not in politics. Although I must admit, they did work well in the UN system with their tax-free salaries. And as I confess, cash does hold a certain charm for me. It's seductive.
Oh, and me.
Although I do find work has to be boring. Yes, why shouldn't I give it up and have a working wife? Why shouldn't all men have that same opportunity? Yeah, women can work well, but then how can you have a steady family life with just the father being at home, creating responsibility?
But what about traditional culture?
In our culture, the women are protected. Women don't need to go out alone or have much schooling. They are married with family honour at 14 and are very valued and cared for. There is no doubt in our culture. Women are protected and loved.
Oh, this is the world of 2012. The world's changed. You're talking about 800 years ago.
But it is Iraqi custom for many tribes over many years, based on survival. It takes time to change.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I take my hat off to Heidi in some ways. She's quite patient with you sometimes, wouldn't you agree?
You know, we have to respect our traditional culture. Change takes time, and we have to be patient. But Heidi, she doesn't take care of anything I say. She thinks I'm just being silly. She thinks I object to anything new. So she just agreed with all my objections. And as you say, is very patient with me.
No, Constance is also very patient with me. She can't see very well and I can't hear very well. So we're ideally suited to misunderstand each other with love. She promises to obey me and says she'll do anything that I ask her to, but she always gets her own way in the end. You know, I think these women are ideally suited for the world of politics.
Well, just for being female. Maybe us old men are missing out in so many ways.
Oh, right, I agree. Hey, let's go and see what they're doing with this WSM of theirs.
Now for the mayor.
Yes.
I think this visit to his office needs to be handled very carefully. Voting's next month.
He has been mayor for over 10 years and wants to be re-elected. But with our WSM votes, we may stop that from happening. But we want him on our side. So I will be mayor for just 1 year, and then we will hand the power back to him for the next term.
Agreed. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks. What's your business here? Have you come to protest?
Protest? No. What about?
You're a Bromley WSM club. I believe you're enrolling all the women of the town to take over local government. Anyone protesting?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, no protests. Oh, good. I've been the mayor here for over 10 years and this has never happened to me before. So now, how can I help you?
We have the new Bromley WSM Club with 90% of the women's votes. We want you to rest for a year and then come back to the office you love.
Not possible. The election is next month.
We propose to elect a woman mayor, just for a year, and then hand the power back to you for the next term.
Impossible.
It seems impossible, but with our 90% of the votes and WSM Club, it may happen.
Then you wouldn't be re-elected.
Impossible.
We would like to show how well women can manage in local politics and government, hopefully with your encouragement and support.
Impossible.
Your wife agrees. She's a member of WSM.
Your daughter agrees. She is a member of WSM.
They both support you.
Yes.
Then I'm outnumbered. I give up. I suppose I must agree too, but you promised only for a year.
We promise. Deal.
Deal.
We did it. We verbally seduced him. Our gold mine works.
Great! Now, for the next targets. The police chief of the town and the headmasters of all the 4 schools.
What an amazing 2-month adventure. Medical practice started, Bromley WSM Club working, Heidi elected as mayor of the town, women on the council, and even a woman police chief. Seems a bit like Iceland.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether we should begin to call Heidi Boadicea, Joan of Arc, or just plain Lady Mayor.
Well, it all seems very dangerous to me. How can women run local government, even our wonderful women?
We're doing it to support you men. Perhaps we should grow beards.
Oh, yes. Well, support us, or just take over.
We plan for tolerance and freedom for all, with no racial tension, and for new priorities for childcare and peace, and new social responsibilities for the sick, the aged, the poor, the handicapped. Now, how can anyone not agree with that?
Well, good luck. You're gonna need it. Men should be responsible and in charge. But who knows the future?
We shall see.
Breaking news. 10 months later in Bromley.
Simply flashed by, I'm amazed. It was impossible, but we did it.
Yes, you elected as mayor and only women to the council except one, the mayor.
And he cooperated so well. We had a wonderful year to show what we can do.
So we've made some progress. Local press editors are all women, and the reports of our work are so positive that women from other towns are beginning to contact us to find out if they can do the same.
Oh, but I must tell you now, danger is coming.
Danger?
Danger. And an opportunity. I must tell you now that government in London has been hearing a lot about us. So now they threaten to send down a committee from Scotland Yard to come and investigate us. Are we creating political or social unrest?
What to do?
I think we should go on the international press. CNN, BBC, Sky, radio, television, and invite them all come here and investigate us. Our values of family and childcare can withstand any assault on us. On we go. Just like females, remember.
Clothes on, please.
Breaking news. All the women at a local government in Bromley has been so successful over the last 11 months, they are planning on acting at another level. But a Scotland Yard investigation is in process. Is it all legal? Next month they plan to resign anyway and hand back the power to men. But will they do it? If they do it, what next? Meanwhile, Iceland continues to prosper with an all-female government, and so does Germany. Could it be that with women's political values, they could resolve issues without violence?
Well, medical practice and politics seems to go so well together. Only 1 month more of politics to go. Oh gosh. The Scotland Yard team is outside and the inspector is asking if he can come up.
Oh dear.
No worries. I have already contacted international press. They're going to be here in the next half hour. All the women are coming too, so we will have a huge street crowd.
Shall I bring the inspector in?
Yes, please.
Hello. I'm an inspector from the Scotland Yard Internal Security Branch. My chief has ordered me to come and investigate what you're doing with the women of Bromley. I'm suited to learning if you're breaking a law of local government.
No, we are 100% legal.
Ah, good.
Thank you. And it's so nice to see you, Inspector. The World International Press, with a huge crowd, going to be outside with about 50 reporters and cameras. Perhaps we can see them together.
Well, no. Not yet, please. Not just yet. Perhaps you can explain what is going on. London is very worried about your political activities for women. Are you getting any illegal political contributions?
No, Inspector. And I wonder how well we can reduce crime and corruption together. How would you feel, Inspector, as the center of attention of the international press on TV tonight? London, Paris, New York, Beijing, they're all coming here in about 15 minutes. Great chance for you to be known and influential, Inspector.
Well, thank you. Reduce crime and corruption, of course I support that. Perhaps you could please explain.
Of course. We are helping women to support men in politics by taking gentle control over the local government with the new priorities for childcare and peace, cost control, new social responsibilities, and to introduce new government care to everyone, just like Iceland.
Oh, Iceland, really? Are the women in control in Iceland?
Yes, Inspector, and doing very well.
Oh yes, well I know. Your election here, you've complied with all the laws. You were legally elected.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh. And you've got the support of the community, even the men?
Yes, Inspector, for just 1 year, so that they can have rest from their local responsibilities of being in control and responsible for running government, police, schools, poverty, family, children. We try to help and never to criticize.
Well, I can't think why Scotland Yard is so upset about the women taking control down here, especially with your news of success in Iceland.
We still believe in honesty. Now the old men in politics who made so many mistakes may be getting worried about the wonderful political skills of women. The world has changed, Inspector.
Perhaps things have changed in social life, business and government. In 2012, women are 60% of the university students, and so often the best ones.
Why?
Perhaps because they drink less.
Same with me. Once police didn't accept women, and now my chief is a woman. Oh dear, should I be worried? No, great for change. But you do make me wonder when the WSM will take over my job too.
Never fear. You have the right attitude. Never fear from women. But the local government needs women. Perhaps national government needs women too. How about a woman for Prime Minister? Like Iceland.
Why not? Things are changing. I support you in that.
Great. And it's rather wonderful to find you here now, after 11 months, when we are at last open to the international press, BBC and Sky, who are all outside.
I support you. You have convinced me.
Great. And now it's time to meet the press.
Give us your views, please, on the WSM club development that has, like Iceland, caught the eye of the world.
Please speak first, Inspector. They want to hear your views. We support you.
It is an honour for me as an inspector of the Scotland Yard Internal Security Branch to address you on the extraordinary developments made by the women of Bromley local government.
He speaks with our full support. Women support men.
And do you approve?
My initial impression so far is that WSM is promoting tolerance, forgiveness, multicultural harmony. Who could not support that? I will continue my investigation and report back to Scotland Yard. My initial impression is very, very positive. They appear to be succeeding in achieving the impossible. And now they must speak to you for themselves.
May I speak as the Mayor of Bromley and a member of WSM committee with my friend and colleague Constance.
We are medical doctors treating patients. We are first founding committee for Bromley WSM Club. We seek tolerance and racial harmony, and we are so pleased that the world's press is interested in our political efforts for honesty, family and childcare, with women in control for just 1 year. Like Iceland, women in government are an inspiration to us.
We all worked so hard for 11 months and have only 1 more month of politics to go. We have done it with the support of the men. And then, after our term, we will hand local government of Bromley back to men, hopefully with some honest, inspiring values. We have done our work with support of the mayor, who is soon going to become mayor again. We worked so hard to introduce into Bromley government the deep human values of women and the care for children.
We've achieved developments in healthcare, cost control, family and childcare, police, schools, poverty, hardship and social welfare. And crime has been halved.
We did it for a year with the support of the men to show that women can govern well in local politics and can support men in future with the new values for mutual benefit.
And do you plan to stay in control?
No, not at all. We believe in truth and honesty in politics. We said 1 year and only 1 more month to go and we leave.
And how will this affect this country and other countries?
We are hoping that women in other towns in England will adopt our values and will start take local governmental control for limited periods.
And will other countries agree? Will women become free?
The world is changing. Let their women decide. In the new world, new ideas and cultures can be accepted and changed.
Thank you, I love you, just brilliant. Back to you.
You've done so well, Heidi, planning the impossible. The old man gotta watch out, the end is nigh.
We do it for just 1 year.
Well, yes, and I've spent my life dealing with disasters. There's no disaster here. You know, now I think I am ready for the life of the home-based husband. Shopping, cleaning, ironing your blouses, yeah, all that.
Well, I am speechless. You women are wonderful and so seductive and persuasive that you can make us men believe anything. Even me. So, now I support you.
Thank you, Sumta. You've made our day.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how the world will change when the women of China, Asia, Russia take over, just like the women of Iceland and Senegal, WSM, after centuries of male domination. Cheers.
Cheers.